All right. Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Jeremy Langlois coming to you from Houmas House Estate and Gardens, more specifically coming to you from our Great River Road Steamboat Museum, which will be opening on just a few days on June the 1st. And we're so excited to have y'all and start to check out some of these exhibits as we get open. It's been so great doing these cooking videos with you guys. The interaction and the guests that we see and talk to, and I even talked to a guest yesterday who was on the property who said she watches the videos. Hey, how's it going? And said she cooked the eggplant dish we did a couple days ago. So this has just been so much fun. We love doing it, and we're going to continue to do them. So the dish that I'm going to be preparing today is, I don't know where you guys are at, but we're in Louisiana, and it's the end of May, and it is starting to get hot. It's very hot, so we're going to prepare something cold today. I don't have any burners or anything like that. We're going to do a nice cold dish. We're going to make a jumbo lump crab meat tower with some mango avocado salsa. And again, we're live, so at any point, if you got any questions as we're filming this, please feel free to give us a comment. Leave a comment, smash the like button, do all that good internet stuff. We would love to interact with y'all. And as always, we're checking all these videos. So throughout the week, if you do have any questions as well, I'm actively looking at them. I'd love to respond and help you guys out as we continue to cook together. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a dish, the evolution of this dish and how it became something that we serve at our restaurants here is that we love doing something cool. And during these hot months, one thing we always do is we're always pairing jumbo lump crab meat with mango. So the reason I do that is I just find those two flavors work so beautifully together. You got the sweetness of this beautiful jumbo lump crab meat, and then you have the sweetness of the mango, which mango is one of my personal favorite fruits. I just find there's nothing better than a nice ripe mango. Whenever you can cut right into one, there's nothing that tastes better. Just ripe right off just cut into it, add nothing to it. Mango is just perfect. So we're going to make this in two parts. We're going to make like a basic simple crab meat salad or a crab meat remoulade, and then we're going to make a mango avocado dressing or salsa. And what you'll see as we make these is they use a lot of the same ingredients, which we'll get into. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the crab salad. So for the crab salad, this is basically just a down and dirty, very simple crab meat remoulade. I got some mayo here that I'm going to go into a bowl. We're going to add to it a little bit of, I always love to add into our crab cakes or into our remoulade sauce, we always want to have a little Creole mustard. What is Creole mustard? If you're not from around here, well, Creole mustard is a whole grain mustard. And if you can't find Creole mustard, which we like to use, a very similar product that is available in many stores is a whole grain Dijon mustard. Whole grain Dijon mustard and Creole mustard are very similar. So I'm just going to kind of start to mix these two ingredients together, real simple, mayo and the mustard. And then we're going to add a little bit of acidity. So you can add, at this point, a great thing you could use at home. I'm going to use lemon juice as an acidity, as our acidity, perfect. Another thing that you could add as a substitute for lemon juice is some kind of vinegar. Red wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar, a champagne vinegar, apple cider vinegar, any of these ingredients, just to get some of that acid in there is going to be perfect. You know, acidity and acid and seafood always goes hand in hand. You really can't go wrong. So a little lemon juice goes into there. And then now we're going to add some vegetables and seasonings to really give some texture and flavor to the salad. We got some diced red onions, some sliced green onions, and some different colored bell peppers. That's just going to go right in. Mix that up. And that's going to give, these vegetables are raw, and that's going to give this salad a really great crunch and texture as you bite into it. So that's going to go in, and like everything we do, we're going to season it with some salt and pepper. Always season with a little bit in taste. Season a little bit in taste. One question I get often a lot is, what kind of salt do we use? Because salt's become this whole thing in the culinary world as far as, you can get all these great pink Himalayan salts. We actually get black Hawaiian salt. All those salts are great, and what's great about, say, those pink Hawaiian salts is they're natural salts. The one salt that you find we don't use very often is kind of the table iodized salt. And the only reason for that is you'll notice every time I do these cooking demonstrations, when I'm using salt, I like to have my salt in a container. I never shake from a shaker to put my salt in, because when I do that, I find I often over season with the salt because I can't feel how much salt I am putting into a dish. But with this kosher salt or sea salt, which is great, it's got a nice coarse texture and I can feel the salt in my fingers and I can feel I can really control how much salt I'm adding to something. So that's just a little tip at home that y'all might experiment with, because I grew up only having table salt in our house, but using some of these other salts really helped elevate my cooking a little bit more. So this is it. We got the vegetables, the mayo, the Creole mustard, and the acid all mixed together. And now what we're going to do is just gently fold in some jumbo lump crab meat into this mixture. Enough dressing just to coat the crab meat. Now, one thing I do want to talk about that's really important is if you guys are familiar with jumbo lump and are often buying them, jumbo lump at the store, one thing you will know is jumbo lump crab is not cheap. It's very expensive. And the reason for that is there's literally only 2 jumbo lumps per crab. So if you were to boil a crab, you get 2 jumbo lumps and they're hard to get off the crab whole and intact. So the other crab meat, say the claw or the shredded back fin crab meat, is going to sell for cheaper. And the last thing we would want to do when we're preparing jumbo lump crab meat is to then go in with a spoon and smash all those beautiful jumbo lumps up. We want to leave them whole as possible, so we're just going to gently toss them with the dressing, and then at this point you would want to taste it, and that's ready to go. I'm going to set that crab salad to the side, and we're now going to make some mango avocado salsa. This is just an absolute perfect pairing with this crab meat. And so we're going to mango avocado salsa. 2 things, mangoes and avocados. Let's start with the mango. So both of these, if you've never worked with them at home, they're a little bit different of how you go about cutting them. Anytime I'm ever cutting anything round at home, the first thing I like to do is just square off an area where I can lay it down flat, so the vegetable, the fruit isn't going to roll on you and you can risk cutting yourself as you do that. Once I get to, so I'm going to take off each part, and then I'm just going to start to peel this. You can peel, there's tons of different ways to cut a mango. Some people will peel these with a potato peeler. That's fine. I just try to carefully take off as much as possible. And we're just going to kind of peel this real quick. Get that off to the side. Now we got a peeled mango. Now the thing that makes a mango kind of tricky is it has this oblong-shaped seed in the middle of it. So you kind of have to cut around that. So I lay it down and I insert my knife and I actually feel I hit the seed. So if I do that, I just move the knife slightly over or kind of cut around it, but that's a seed all right there. And then I rotate it, and then I go down, I see I hit the seed right there, so I move over a little bit, and now I'm able to get more of that mango out. And I'm just kind of starting slowly and finding that seed and cutting off around it. And you can really kind of get there and trim it up so you have no waste. But you see, it's not a round seed, it's an oblong seed. So we're just going to kind of get that out of here. And then from that point, we're going to just cut this mango into batons and then turn them around and dice them. Everybody with me so far? Just going to cut that up. And we're going to put this right into our bowl. I already have some, through the power of Hollywood and television, I already got some mango already diced. So we're going to get some of that in there. But now what we do have to do is talk about our avocado. So first of all, avocado is something that will actually oxidize. So when we cut this avocado, if you were to leave it out, it's going to start to turn brown. We're going to add some acid, some lemon juice or vinegar to it, and that will prevent it from turning brown. But if you were making this at home, I like to do everything ahead of time and then cut the avocado last second. Now let's talk about cutting avocado. If you've never cut an avocado before, there's a real simple trick to that as well that I want to show you, and that's you take the knife. Oh, first of all, let's talk about avocados. You go to the store. I find avocados can be very tricky to get really great ripe avocados at the store. You want to go to the avocado section. You want to grab them. You should be able to squeeze them, and they have a little bit of give. If you grab them and they're hard, rock hard, well, then that means they're not ripe. So you don't want to purchase those, or you can buy them and let them sit out at room temperature to ripen. Or sometimes you'll grab them and they're just soft. Your hand will instantly, if you give them a little squeeze and you just find they're real mushy, you want to avoid those too. If you were to cut open those avocados, they'll probably be brown on the middle. So they should have just a little bit of give. You should almost be able to push your finger through the skin, have a little bit of give to them, and that's going to be a good avocado. Once you're at that point, all you have to do is insert your knife till you hit the big seed in the middle. From that point, you're just going to hold the knife still and carefully take that avocado, and you're actually going to rotate the avocado around the knife, and that's going to cut the avocado in half, and you can take it and then twist it Boom. So now you got two different pieces. You got the part with the seed and you got this. Now to remove the seed, you just take the knife and give it a little boom, little whack like that, twist it, and if the avocado is ripe, the seed's going to come right out. So now you got your two perfectly seeded avocados. And from this point, you can do a couple things. The typical thing you would do is you would then take a spoon and you can scoop the avocado out. You can slice it, make guacamoles, different things like that at home. But what I actually do with this dish is I'm going to kind of mix it, and this ripe avocado will break a little. So watch this trick that you can do. Let's kind of do it together. Now, you do want to be careful. Sharp knife. You don't want to go through the skin. But I'm just going to start scoring the avocado and letting the tip of the blade touch the skin and just kind of go through the skin. Again, you want to be careful. You don't want to push too hard, but I'm scoring one direction. Now I'm going to go the other direction. And I'm just scoring the avocado, following the skin. So I've done a crisscross pattern. So now whenever I take my spoon, it's going to come out and I'm going to scoop it right into a bowl, and the avocado itself is already going to be a little diced up. And that's perfect because whenever we mix it, it's going to break up a little more. Let's do one more. Scoring the avocado, just following the skin, being careful. Don't want to apply too much pressure. Have the knife go through, cut your hand. We don't want that. Crisscross pattern, spoon, and there we go. Now we have our avocado in with our diced mango. From there, we made this recipe easy for you. The exact same ingredients that you added to the crab salad, the diced red onions, the sliced green onions, the different colored bell peppers, are all going to go in, and we're going to start to mix this salsa that we're making up. Our diced mango, our diced avocado. Now we're going to add a couple ingredients to this. We're going to add some sweetness, and we're going to add some acidity. For the acidity, just like how we use lemon juice for the crab salad, we're going to juice a lemon right into here, and you always want to add a little lemon to your avocado because it keeps your avocado from turning brown. We're going to mix that in. And then what really brings this whole salsa together is we're just going to add a little bit of honey. And this honey is going to add a sweetness, and we don't want it to be too sweet, but it's just going to balance out all these flavors and help connect all these flavors together. So a little honey, a little lemon juice, cracked black pepper, some salt, and guys, we are ready to go. We now have our crab salad. We now have our mango avocado salad. Now, one thing that we like to do whenever we plate this at the restaurant is it's all about the presentation as well. So let me kind of show you a little behind the scenes thing that we do. So let's get our plate ready. What we actually have is we have different molds and different things that we use throughout the restaurant. This is, if you want to do this at home, this is great. You could use a cookie cutter or any kind of round mold that you might have at home, but we actually have about 50 of these in the back, and it's just a PVC pipe that we cut. We're going to use this as a mold. Let me show you how we're going to do it. The first thing we do for our presentation is we have these absolutely beautiful cucumbers that are just, cucumbers and tomatoes are just growing all over our gardens right now at Houmas House, and we try to use as much as possible. So I love to just add some sliced cucumbers to my plate, and I like to make a little ring that we're going to put on the bottom of here. Now, a little pro tip, everything you do, guys, just like if we were making a cucumber tomato salad, I always like to come back with just a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper, just to make sure that just to make sure we have some seasoning on those. From there, we're going to add our ring bowl on here, and we're going to start with our mango avocado salsa. So I'm going to start filling this mold because we're making a tower. So we're going to start filling this mold, and since we got two things, I fill this up halfway. Then I'm using the back of this spoon, and I'm kind of pushing it down just so it's all going to hold. From that point, we're going to come back to our crab salad, and now we're going to top this mold with this crab salad. And I'm going to push it down, not too hard, but enough to where it's all going to stay. And if I did my job right as a chef, let's see, whenever I kind of hold this down and unmold it, it's all going to stay. Look at that. I get to keep my job and work another day. And just to finish this up with a few garnishes, we always have these beautiful herb oil that's just going to go really great with this. This is a little bit of red wine reduction. That's going to be a great little complement to it, give it a little bit color. And then we're going to come back and top it off. Since we're working with all these great flavors, this is just a little bit of basil that we got right out of our garden. Bit of a garnish, but also meant to be eaten as well. And this would make a really great summer or spring dish. This is a crab salad with a mango and avocado salsa. I would love to see what you guys are able to do this at home. And look, I'm using crab. You can use a lot of different ingredients. You could use crawfish. We're in crawfish season right now. Just substitute the crab for crawfish. Perfect. You could use shrimp. You could boil some shrimp. If the shrimp are too big, you can cut them up a little. We've actually done this exact same dish with lobster, where we boiled some lobster, then diced that lobster meat, did the exact same preparation. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. Again, our Steamboat Museum is opening up on June 1st. We look forward to seeing y'all here over at Houmas House. Thank y'all, and y'all take care.